So I ended up getting the job and kept on going forward and meeting amazing teachers along that route. And what happened is I kept on getting the Australia mindset. I started thinking about traveling and continuing my skills and building up on my professional relationships, getting a cure for chronic fatigue and getting some help in that space. So that was kind of the journey then. I ended up having a graduation prior to this and got money. So all this money started coming into my bank account, all this abundance. And I was like, let's book the ticket to Australia. That's where it all changed. And I sold a motorcycle, put everything in storage that I didn't need, and took the rest plane flight away. And it was epic. So that just became the start of the heroine's journey, meeting the mentor along the road. She was an artist, she was a wise person, she was a sage, she was helping me grow from where I was. And that was an epic part of the transition. So, fast forward about 2 weeks, landed in Australia, and I was like, what do I do with my life, universe? What do I do? How can I, get the next part of my story? And I just knew I was in an epic movie. Showed up, and it was like, I could hear all the birds chirping, different environment. It was just like a dream that I've been dreaming of for like 20 years. It's like, I'm back. I'm in Australia for the second time. Oh, this is going down. I'm like, this is my vibe. This is like Californication, continuation, and down under. And oh my gosh, all these health enthusiasts, people that are consulting, epic flow. I was just like meeting people left and right, a lot of culture there. And I ended up stumbling across one of my days, like searching for jobs and searching for a lifestyle. And I ended up getting a 2-year visa. I ended up, like planning the future there. And I found during this time that I was still tired from my crusade and my chronic fatigue. I ended up getting a splash of some elixir at a farmer's market. It was Ganoderma lucidum, and in these times they didn't have too much of the mushroom and mycelium and mycelium and all sorts of mushroom therapies. So it was like magic elixirs I was drinking with a coffee and tea combination that they loaded up, so they like made it really super strong for the customers. And so I drank like 2 or 3 sips of those, and I completely found all my cells turning back on. I could tell my thyroid was calmed down. That's where the energy production comes from. And I totally got better, totally got healed, and I felt it right away. And I was like, yes, that was another mentor that came through, and I got my community from that group. I ended up selling this product left and right. Probably sold like 3,000 units of like big packages of 200 boxes. Like I did really well, and that became a financial abundance. And I ended up, the funny thing is, I was reading Think and Grow Rich years before that, and the company was owned by Think and Grow Rich. Organo Gold was, shout outs to Organo Gold, changed my life. And man, it just brought on all this encouragement and all this travel, all this. I ended up in India, in the mountains of Dharamsala, on motorcycle journeys, like funded by this trip, and learning all sorts of important skills. And it wasn't just easy. I mean, there was a lot of epic battles in between that time. So I ended up battling and all that stuff through the hero's journey. And I mean, it was like I had to slay different dragons. But I encourage you guys, take on your hero's journey. There's different parts of it, but I really want to encourage you guys to try and go for it and push forward, because it is the most and the best lesson you'll ever get into. And definitely don't be afraid, because research at Joseph Campbell's book will give you a lot of encouragement on that, and you'll have a lot of stages of development. And you might feel stuck now, but definitely go to the unknown, go into the unknown, trace that. So how we explain the hero's journey real quick to kind of leave you guys out. This is just a teaser and a little bit of a lesson, a story about how I started my hero's journey and one of my stages of it. And I'm going through another hero's journey now, but it's like, boom, running new businesses, starting new businesses, making videos on your channel, doing these type of things are going to be very beneficial because you don't know what's going to happen next, and it lead to the next stage. And when you go towards bravery and courage, there's so much that gets opened up, and as you change friends and build your networks, everything changes and develops. And in the unknown, it's not easy, but it's so fun and interesting and stimulating. So it encourages you to go forward and encourages you to take on the path of I wouldn't say least resistance, but the path. But you have to use the machete. So it goes in a circle and starts in the leaving home, and then meeting mentors, call to action. You find out what your mission is, and you go into development of your plot, who the tyrant or the epic adventure is. It's kind of a battle, kind of a light versus dark, or dark versus light, whatever way you're going. And then it goes into those epic battles between that side. And then during the stages, you learn so much lessons. You have allies, you create friendships from it, communities from it, and you need to go through this to develop the skills. And then the most important thing is when you come back, right here is your call to action. When you come home and return home, or return back to your home base or someplace that you arrived, you need to know that you have call to action to teach those skills and to give the lessons and bring the ladder down so other people can rise up and climb up. So those are very, very important stages of the hero's journey. Beautiful. I just want you to know that. I want you to take on your hero's journey and get Joseph Campbell, the heroine's and mythical tale, I believe that is, and he has another one called The Hero's Journey. Joseph Campbell, just research him on Amazon and look up all his books. They all are based on this heroine's tale. Beautiful. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Saturday or whatever day it is for you, but we are growing, flowing, and adventuring. Awesome. Peace and love.